come back to this one. I don't know if you've seen, but All In Podcast has a clips now, kind of like the Rogan clips. And I had one pop up from episode 95. And I've already seen it, but it was on my autoplay and then it ended up playing. And it brought this topic back around, and I wanted to expand on it. And I think it was with Freeberg talking about like Kim K and MrBeast and how traditional brands are going to die if they don't have, some face of the brand or an influencer, such as Kim K or MrBeast, how they can just launch a brand overnight and, be the biggest, burger chain in the world. And I thought a lot about that. And my issue is no one has really proven yet that they can build a long-term sustainable business out of doing that. And I'll give you an example. For the hell of it, I tried the MrBeast burger. It wasn't that good. So, and I realized how they got it done. Like a lot of the components of that burger seem like it doesn't seem like they had a national supply chain, and I'm just taking a guess here, where they have an exact product in the same bun and the same ground beef and the same everything across the board. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but it looked like a burger I could make at home. It was the same kind of like 80/20 chuck, I'm guessing. You got at Kroger and everything seemed like you could buy it in a store. And I saw the location where it came from, and I've ordered food from here, and I think they were like a pizza joint who also happened to be a MrBeast franchise in the back. So in my opinion, I'm just not ordering it again. Now, when Friedberg talks about taking out a traditional brand in the long run, look at what McDonald's does, or I'm going to make up a number here. McDonald's average store might be able to do $2.5 million a year every year forever, it seems. Chick-fil-A might do $4 or $5 million per store every year. Can the influencers create brands that can produce those kind of numbers year over year over year over year? That's where I think Freeberg, I'm not saying he's wrong, I just don't know if that prediction is going to come true. You're not going to take out Chick-fil-A with these almost kind of fads. I mean, are we talking about MrBeast in 20 years from now or Kim K? People fall in and out of the spotlight all the time. It's like bands and other celebrities where like cool comes and goes, and then often once the cool is gone, you can't ever get it back. We'll see. Will you have these market forces where people can come in and out of the market for 1, 2, 3 years, pop back up in 5 years, where they got new ideas and new products that are, they're not only going to live for so long and make a hell of a lot of money, but can they create brands that are going to last decades? That's where I don't have an answer to that one, and I don't know if that thought's completely, I don't know. I don't want to say the word true because it could be true. I'm just looking at what it takes to stay in business for decades is goddamn difficult. And to just, you're selling products based on celebrity, and then when that celebrity's gone, the demand for the product will probably fade as well. And you look at McDonald's, you look at Chick-fil-A, you look at these other brands that have been around forever, and they're growing, their sales are sustainable, and it's like, man, are you telling me McDonald's is going to get knocked off the top because of the MrBeast burger? I don't know about that. I'm not saying it's not possible, but we're really confusing these like fads and we're comparing them to like these really sustainable business models with supply chains, with followings, with consistency, right? Is that MrBeast burger going to be the same here as it is in Texas, for example? I don't know. I wanted to like talk more about that insight because I think it greatly undervalues how much effort it goes into building a long-term sustainable business, the supply chain, the workforce, the marketing, the branding, everything that goes with it. Sure, Kim K or MrBeast can start anything tomorrow and probably sell a whole bunch of it. If MrBeast came out with a new song, he could probably chart number one tomorrow. MrBeast wanted to do a best-selling book. It wouldn't be that hard. He could probably write about anything. He's got a big enough following to probably hit number one. Is it sustainable though? That's the question. We have influence there, and they have massive following. But can you make that one thing work over and over and over again? Or do you constantly have to be bringing different concepts to market all the time? It's going to make Kim K and MrBeast rich, right? All the influencers are rich. But in the long run, does the consumer win? Nah, I don't know. I know what it takes to stay in business for decades. And you watch fads come and go. You watch people move in and out of the market. You make money. You never hear from them. You never hear from them again. So it's just something to think about. Where I do understand having an influencer is I think Friedberg said, lowers the customer acquisition cost, right, or subsidizes it. You can bring in a hell of a lot more sales without having to spend a tremendous amount of money acquiring a new customer. But it's like, are you really building a long-term sustainable brand, or is it burgers this year and a fried chicken sandwich next year and then a pizza next year, and then by then we've already forgot about the burger? And maybe that's just their business model. But can you do what McDonald's or some of these other chains are doing year after year after year for decades, for 50 years? I think that's a little bit different. Anyone can bring something to market, get their fan base to go buy it. Are they going to buy it twice a month? Are they going to buy it even a second time? Like, I'm not buying the MrBeast burger again. It sounds like they might have a new burger. I'm just not messing with it. It's just, I wanted to try it for the hell of it, and it's like, well, I'm not falling for this one twice. Are you really going to build a long, sustainable business, or is it just a one-time kind of hit where, it's like a Super Bowl commercial? Everything booms for like 2 weeks, and then the demand dies off. We'll see. Maybe he'll end up creating the largest burger chain in the world that does, $25 billion a year. Like, we'll see. But just from a pure business perspective, I mean, you think about it. Do you want to constantly just be buying whatever the influencer's pimping that day, and then kind of making them rich? And I mean, I get it. You're gonna go buy a burger from McDonald's. You're making them rich, or the stockholders rich. But do you want to play along with this game of whatever the influencer's kind of pimping, and you're out there buying the stuff their pockets? Maybe at some point, the consumer's like, screw this, I'm not going to keep doing this, or I'm just going to go back to a traditional brand because I'm going to be driving down the road and I know McDonald's is going to be there on my road trip and the food's going to be consistent. And if I go to Paris, then I'm going to be able to get McDonald's and the food's going to be very consistent. I know it's these large sustainable brands. I don't know if Freeberg's right that influencers are going to knock out. And maybe that was just for CPG products, right? But we're talking about MrBeast. We're talking about, some of the stuff Kim K's getting involved in. And a lot of that stuff's just short-term market forces. It's things that are trending or in style or fads for, 12, 18 months, and then it's on to the next thing. And maybe that is the business, whereas you're constantly just bringing out new things. But, as far as taking out big brands in the long run, I don't know if Freeberg's right on that one. Anyways, what's your opinion on that? Drop a comment below. Also, if you had the MrBeast burger, let me know what you thought of that thing.